All right, so this is our first 60 days plan. We follow this for 80 to 90% of clients. There's some clients that are unique where, maybe they have a large site, maybe they're in a highly competitive space like personal injury, but for the most part, 90+% of clients, this is what we're going to do in the first 60 days. So the focus of this is on three specific things. Number one, obviously, actually getting results. So we wanted to make sure that everyone knew exactly what we need to do over the first 60 days, because that's by far the most complicated. Once we get past the first 60 days, what we do every month is just additional content, additional links over and over again. But the first 60 days, much more complex. We want to make sure we get results. We want to make sure it happens quickly. So that's the first goal of this. The second goal is to overcome buyer's remorse. This is a well-known psychological issue where when somebody buys something expensive, the first feeling they often get is remorse. So you'll see at the beginning of this, the first week or two, there's a lot of front-loaded communications to overcome that buyer's remorse. The third focus area is to make the client happy to pay the third payment, right? So the first payment is before month one, the second payment is before month two, the third payment is before month three. Typically, obviously, for this to be kicked off, we'll have collected the first payment. Then the second payment, very rare we don't get that. It's only been a month in, so no issues usually getting that. But by the time the third payment is coming around, we've been working with them for a couple of months. We might have some results, we might not. Usually the best results we see are at the end of month 3. So if they make that third payment, by the end of month 3, the rank map is going to look really good and they're likely going to be a long-term client. But the rank map might not look significantly different at the end of the second month. So that's the third aspect. So you'll see what we're doing as we approach that end of second month to try to get it. So I'm not going to walk through every single one of these, but just keep in mind those goals. So obviously right after they close, we're going to send them a DocuSign, update the high level, all the CRM, everything like that. We'll send the invoice. Nothing else happens until that happens. Okay. Then they're going to get an email sequence. So the person that they're on the sales call with is going to send them an email. I will reply to that or automated for me to reply to that. And then the operations manager will also reply to it. And the ops manager is going to give all the access that we need, along with Loom videos and walkthroughs on how to actually get that. It'll also include a questionnaire link, a 30-day timeline, exactly what they can expect in the next 30 days. Now, we want to make sure that they actually grant access. So we'll create a task once this is sent to remind them, hey, we need the access. Then we're going to send them a handwritten thank you note. This is one of the things that we do to overcome buyer's remorse. The way we handle this logistically, I bought like 60 thank you notes. I filled all of them out, sent them to the sales staff. They filled all of them out, sent them to the ops manager. She filled all of them out, and that way they're ready to go when the client closes. We can just write, the ops manager just writes the client name on one and drops it in the mailbox. Okay, then we basically start doing audit work. We're delivering this initial rank assessment within a few days. Then we're going to do the GBP audit. Again, we do need access if we don't have it yet. Questionnaire reminder. So we want that. Then we're going to do the landing page audit. What does their landing page look like? To make sure that the service entities are mapped. So we're basically just getting all of these audits done. Okay, so then we're going to do the first meeting, and the goal of that meeting, we're going to walk through the GBP audit, the landing page audit, and the content gap analysis. So we're also going to talk through what the service entity list is, the content calendar, approval of changes, things like that. I'll change this to service list because we don't use keywords. So the client approves that. We start to make changes. We just talk through that meeting. And after that meeting, then boom, we go ahead, we start making changes. Fix NAP consistency. This is just basically making all of the changes we just agreed to. We'll record a Loom and send that over to the client saying, hey, we fixed everything. So this is fairly quick, right? So all of the tech fixes are done within the first month, and the client's going to get a Loom saying, look at all this stuff we did to fix everything. Okay. Also, we're going to start the content sprint. So these happen in parallel, right? We're going to start the tech fixes and the content sprint at the same time. These activities happen simultaneous. So we're going to start publishing content. The quantity depends on the price point for the client. Build the GBP post plan. We'll source the links, all of this. Then at the end of the first month, we're going to pull the lead snap rank data, compare against the baseline, prepare the month one report, send them that report with a Loom video, and send them a meeting invite for the monthly review. This is not something we do every month. We pretty much only do it at the end of month one. So we'll hold that first monthly review call, and then we're going to send this swag box. This is, they've just had the first monthly review call. They see all of the tech stuff that we fixed, all the content we published. They see a path forward, what we're going to do in month two. Then they get a swag box. This is all to build up the goodwill to make sure we make it into that third month where we're actually going to see crazy results for most clients. Then we're going to do month two work, call it retention check-in. We're going to have that call right before the month two payment. Here is, if we don't see any results, if things are pretty much exactly the same, we'll typically waive the third or the fourth and fifth potentially fees, and then ongoing from there. So this is our first 60-day sprint, exactly what we do, how we manage new clients. Thought you guys would find this useful.